Hello everyone, I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version. This time, I'd like to talk about you should investigate or look for information about sexually transmitted diseases before doing blowjob. I think you'd be concerned about sexually transmitted diseases or sex-related diseases when it comes to having sexual intercourse with others because maybe most of you know that there are such diseases you might catch by sexual intercourse, for example. So for example, maybe you have heard of some of the names of the diseases like chlamydia or gonorrhea or genital herpes and syphilis and so on. There are many kinds of sexual related diseases, but so you may think that there'd be no risk of infection just by doing blowjob, but actually there's a risk of infection just by doing blowjob, and this is a case of the country I live in. But there's a website which is created by a ministry of my country, and according to that website, there's at least that website said there is a risk or there is a possibility of getting infected by doing blowjob. I don't know whether you're male or women or whichever is fine. I don't know whether you are if you're doing some blowjob. I don't know whether you are going to or you will suck penises or you will have others suck your own penises. I don't know which side is you are. I don't know whether you are on which side, but actually even though you suck or even though you have your own penises sucked by others, in that case, when it comes to doing blowjob, I think you should know that you take a risk of getting getting infectious diseases. I mean, so I think you'd be concerned about such kind of infections. As I said, when it comes to really doing, sexual intercourse, not just doing blowjob, but also, having your, for example, if you're in the case, if you're a man, I think you will insert your own penises into the wombs of or vaginas of women, and if you are women, you have to lead the penises into yourself or into the vaginas or into the wombs of yourself. But in both cases, you may be concerned about you may worry about the infections of sexually transmitted diseases. But in the case of blowjobs, you may get such sexually transmitted diseases. And before doing blowjob, I think I recommend you searching information, for example, on Google search engines, and other manners for getting information on such sexually transmitted diseases. I didn't know until this recording that there is such abbreviation like STD, which stands for sexually transmitted diseases. But getting such information is necessary when it comes to really doing, for example, blowjob or any other kinds of sexual actions for enjoying your own relationships with partners. What matters is such an investigation related to sexually transmitted diseases. Moreover, when it comes to, or in the case of sexually transmitted diseases, caught or infected, by blowjob, I have created some contents in Japanese language on the topic of sexually transmitted diseases, transmitted by blowjob. I I have introduced, I was talking about our website about, about sexually transmitted diseases, and I said and I explained that such sexually transmitted diseases are infected just by blowjob, and I have introduced that website, and I have introduced that website by contents created in Japanese languages, and I created those contents in Japanese languages, and which is why I created this episode, because I'd like you to know that there are risks of getting or catching sexually transmitted diseases, and in the description column I'm thinking of listing up some information on sexually transmitted diseases, and I'm thinking of listing up the contents I created in Japanese months before or years before. This is all. That's all, and I'm sorry for this large sound. This is the sound of ambulance, but I think this sound doesn't make any sense when it comes to listening to this. When it comes to listening to what I'm speaking out, and I'm sorry for this sound. And that's it. Thank you very much for your listening, and please make sure that before you really do blowjobs, I don't know whether you will suck the penises of your own partners. I don't know whether you have your own partners suck, or I don't know whether you will have your own partners take your own penises into the mouths of those partners. I don't know which side you are on which side, but please make sure that please search information, or please be aware of sexually transmitted diseases. That's it. Thank you very much for your listening. See you.